Most candidates fail this Meta SQL question not because they don't know SQL, but because they use the wrong SQL technique. I'm going to show you the trap and exactly how to avoid it. The trap is the most intuitive solution, but it's slow, inefficient, and it's not the answer they're looking for. The solution that gets you past the first round is a clean, powerful window function. Let me show you exactly how to write it and avoid the trap. Here's the challenge they give you. The problem statement looks simple. Calculate the average duration of a user session. A session is defined as the time between a page load event and the very next page exit event for that same user. Sounds easy, right? But the logs are messy. You have multiple loads, scrolling, and other noise. The interviewer is watching to see if you can cleanly isolate only the direct load-exit pairs. This is where people reach for the self-join, trying to connect every load to every exit, but we're going to bypass that mess entirely. If you're using the self-join to find the start and the end of each session, you'd have to join the table to itself on user ID. Then again, to keep only the latest page load per user and day. Then once again, to keep only the earliest page exit per user and day. Bonus, a mess of where clauses. This is a very fragile approach. Change greater than to greater than or equal to. Bug. Forget the date alignment. Cross-day bug. Put the action filter in the wrong place, wrong rows. Miss the is null check, duplicates. The pro move is to never join at all. I'm going to treat the data like a sample sequence. The plan is 2 steps. The pro step 1, isolate the sequence. We only care about page load and page exit events for each user, in order. The pro step 2, look 1 step back. For every page exit, we'll use a window function, a lag, to peek at the previous row. If the previous row was a page load, we have a valid session. That's it. No messy joins, no complex logic. This approach is more efficient, cleaner, and less bug-prone. This is the data we're working with, Facebook Weblog. It's a simple raw event stream. We have 3 columns. User ID, the ID of the user. Timestamp, exactly when an action happened. Action, what the user did. Page load, scroll down, and most importantly, page exit. Now, here's the catch. Look at the data for user ID 0, for example. Notice they have multiple page load events, sometimes seconds apart, before a single page exit. A session isn't just the first load and the last exit. A true session is a page load that is followed directly by a page exit. A clunky self-join would struggle with this, but our window function will handle it perfectly. Let's prove it. We'll use 2 common table expressions, CTEs, to keep this clean. The first CTE is session events. It selects user ID, timestamp, and action. We then use the where clause and the in operator to keep only the page load and page exit actions. Done. We'll now create our session pairs. We select the same columns as in the previous CTE. Then we use lag as our secret weapon. Partition by user ID puts each user's activity in its own separate lane. Then order by timestamp orders their events chronologically. Lag just looks over its shoulder at the previous action and timestamp in that same lane. It's clean and impossible to mess up. Now that we've done the hard work, the final step is easy. We select user ID from session pairs. Next, we subtract the previous timestamp from the current timestamp to get the session duration, then calculate the average duration using the average aggregate function. Also, there is a filter in where that calculates the duration for valid session pairs. Finally, we group by to get the average by the user ID. The code runs, and it's correct. Next time you see a problem that requires comparing sequential rows, your brain should immediately think window function, not self-join. Avoiding that one trap completely changes the interview. It shows you value efficiency and readability, and it proves you can handle complex event-based data, which is what every top tech company, including Meta, is built on. If you're prepping for a data role at Meta and other big companies, I'll cover the exact SQL problems they use in real interviews in future videos. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.